Good morning, good morning, good morning. Come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. Good morning, Chainbreakers. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Just going in trying to see what I can do to help share this out this morning. Good morning. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Come on in, come on in, come on in. There we go. Good morning, Chainbreakers. Good morning. It is going to be a terrific Tuesday. It is Tuesday, September the 17th, 2019, and this is going to be another fantastic day because that's the day I choose for it to be. Welcome. Come on in. Good morning. This is Chainbreakers 365 Live. Hi, I'm Brad Smith, and I'm your host for Chainbreakers 365 Live and the creator of hashtag Uplift and Rise. And I want to welcome you here today. This is going to be hopefully a really good show. Want to kind of get in and talk about setbacks or fear. What is stopping us today? What is stopping us from being able to move forward and really have the fulfilled life that we are destined and we are planned and God's plan to have for us in our lives? So there is a lot of times different things can come to us out of left field, and at some point there are things that are obstacles in our life. Now, obstacles can be indeed a huge mountain, right? Or obstacles can be a speed bump. The question is how in the world it is that you're going to handle it. Now, a lot of times we see those speed bumps and we see them easily as something we can overcome, something we can attain, and we just go right on over the speed bump, right? And sometimes we see those as mountains standing in front of us. And it's up to us to decide whether we are going to go around the mountain, tunnel through the mountain, or climb over it, or whether it is really truly beyond our capability of overcoming. And how we choose to see that is something that ends up totally determining what it is that ends up happening in our lives. Sometimes they are fears that get in our way. And I want to talk about that this morning because that's what indeed a lot of chain breakers is truly about. It's helping break those chains off that keep us from attaining the fulfillment of God's plan for us in our lives. So let's talk about that a little bit this morning. And I want to take just a moment before we get too farther to recognize some people that I've seen have already joined the show this morning. Connie Davis, Nathaniel Banks, Leanne Ryan-Smith, good morning. I'm glad you're here, and I know there's others. Just do me a favor and give a quick comment, hit some likes, hit the loves, so I can see that you're here. If I haven't mentioned your name, I can't see it, unfortunately. But just let me know what's going on, and whether it's now live or whether it's in replay, if you reach down in there and say good morning to me, I'll say good morning to you. So good morning, Nathaniel. This is going to be a terrific Tuesday. And it's not only going to be a terrific Tuesday because of the fact that it's going to be beautiful weather today, but that's the day I'm choosing to have. I'm choosing to be in a positive mindset, already set out to appreciate and enjoy everything it is that life has to deal out for me today. Because at some point we need to also understand that those setbacks, those roadblocks, and even your fears are in your way to be able to challenge you and mold you into becoming a stronger person to handle the challenges that are further even down the road. And we'll never get there to know what those are unless we overcome the challenges that are in front of us right now. The other thing that tends to happen is when we're talking about those challenges down the road, the other thing that's there and is truly promised is with greater challenges are even greater rewards. So it is absolutely worth our while to figure out what it is we need to do to overcome those setbacks, overcome those challenges, and to be able to go and run for the prize. So that's another question that I've got for you. Are you set up to run as if you're running to win the prize? Because there are a lot of people in the race, but not everybody is running to win the prize. So are you going to be in there just to go through the motions? Are you going to be that one that comes in last? And believe me, if you're the last horse, the view is not really great. But when you are out in the front, when you are leading the pack, when you are crossing that finish line first, the prize is not only yours, but so is the attainment of that reward. So is the fulfillment within ourselves of such a fantastic challenge that we have overcome to be able to really grow in our lives. And the rewards can be innumerous. So I want to talk about that a little bit and talk about those setbacks and talk about our fears. So a lot of times we can prepare for setbacks because we know that certain things can come. We know that certain things can challenge us. We know that, for instance, coming on live can be a challenge because we can continually have technical difficulties that stop us from fulfilling things in the moment, right? So, and we've seen that. I've had that on this show. A lot of other people that run live shows have had that. Sometimes it's a little static that creates some jumps or rough connections, pixelated screens. Other times there's such an inconsistent signal that we can't even get out our message, right? But those are some of the things we can plan for, and we can try to do what we can to overcome those in advance. We can be prepared for them when they come. So there's a lot of times that as salespeople, and we talked about being a salesperson a little bit yesterday, we can try to understand what some of those obstacles can be. It's the objections that we're going to have. Maybe it's I don't have in stock what the client is wanting. Maybe it's it's time, it's money, it's all sorts of things that can get in our way. And knowing what those can be, we know how to prepare for them. We know how to overcome them. We know how to get around them, as it were. So maybe it's tunneling through, maybe it's getting around, and maybe it's climbing over top of that mountain. The nice part of it is even if we choose to climb that mountain and move to attain and grow over top, the view from the top is a fantastic view. So I want you to challenge you to take on those obstacles, take on those challenges, and don't be set back by them. Because if you truly knew how powerful you really are, there is nothing you wouldn't undertake. And absolutely, Connie, fear is a liar. Fear is a liar. Danger is real. And I saw a piece from Will Smith yesterday, and he talks about that entirely. Fear is a liar. Danger is real. So there's a key difference between perceived fear or perceived danger and real danger, right? We know that if we're going to jump off that cliff, that there should be some real fear involved because there is danger here. But sometimes fear is simply being able to push past where we are in life. So there we have a lot of emotions tied to our history, tied to our past, right? And I listened to Lisa Copeland interviewing Melissa Burrow on her new book, Chasing Bentleys. And Melissa was talking about some of the memories that we have tied to emotions for some things in our past. And she used the example of jumping out of the airplane. So you jump out of the airplane, and maybe last time when you jumped out of that airplane, you landed so hard that you didn't land right, so that you ended up breaking your ankle. And maybe that kept you from going out and getting in that airplane to skydive again. But later, working through and pushing through that fear, the fear is a liar, because you are set up, you are trained, you are prepared, you have the skills to overcome that and not be running into that danger again. You planned for the danger. So what it ends up being is you have to be able to retrain your brain to overcome the fear, the emotion that's tied. It's the emotions that get to us, and the emotions that keep us from being fulfilled, the emotions that lie to us. That's an emotion of fear. So I challenge you today to overcome your fears. Overcome your fears. Fear is a liar, and we are going to break those chains today. The other thing that's there is those setbacks. And as we talked about, you can be prepared for, you can think of in advance, you can train for, you can have the tools in advance to being able to do what it is that you can before getting there. A lot of people that choose to have outdoor weddings, for instance, one of the setbacks can come is a change in the weather. And having something prepared to be able to move it quickly indoors to an indoor venue, to be able to move it under a tent, to be able to overcome the obstacle of the weather, you can prepare for that in advance. So thinking about what it is that can come and be wrong, sometimes allowing our fear to speak to us totally alerts us to what that obstacle can truly be, so that we can prepare for it, we can train for it, we can have the resources for it to overcome that obstacle in advance of it actually occurring. And sometimes that obstacle will never come. Sometimes that obstacle and that setback will never happen. But those setbacks can absolutely be something that lock us down and keep us from fulfilling the destiny that God has planned for us. We can look at that mountain and decide that it is too great of a challenge. It is too big for us to try to overcome. It is too big for us to really think about. We're not good enough. We're not strong enough. We're not prepared. It doesn't always work that way for me, right? Let me tell you something, my friends. You are good enough. You are strong enough. Make sure that you train yourself to be prepared. Make sure you are becoming that person that you need to be the person that is going to climb that mountain. Be sure that you have the resources, the picks, the anchors, the hammers, the ropes, right? The shoes, the clothing, the guides, so that you can climb that mountain. Be sure that you have those people that can help you along the way. Be sure that you have all the resources that you need to overcome and be exactly the person that you need to be. Because I guarantee you, my friends, you have it inside of you to be exactly who you need to be to attain that challenge, to overcome that challenge, to attain the prize. I challenge you to be that person today. I challenge you to reach inside of you and find that strength, to overcome the obstacle that you need to be, to face your fear in the face and smash it. Smash it to smithereens. Smash it beyond recognition and become the person that you truly need to be beyond it. So today, folks, as you move forward, I challenge you to look at something that's facing in front of you and ask yourself, is this an obstacle? Is this my fear that's keeping me from getting there? Because if you let that obstacle to set you back and to lock you down and keep you from attaining the goal, the life, the purpose that God has laid out for you in your life, then I guarantee you what you have done is you've allowed yourself to fail. You've allowed yourself to fail, because failure comes when you give up. Failure comes when you stop trying. Failure comes when you stop going and working to attain that goal. But as long as you keep on trying, no setback can be looked at as a failure. As long as when you fall, you keep falling forward, failure has not overtaken you. Only a setback. So be the person that you need to be in that challenge today. Go out and run like you are running to win the prize, and be the person you need to be. I want to thank you so much for being here today. Susan Sherman, thanks for being here this morning. Good morning to you. I don't know if you came in a little late or if I just didn't see you until later, but welcome here also. If you don't ever get a chance to see this when it's live, And I'm here live Monday through Friday, every single weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But if you don't catch it live, you can always catch it on replay. If you still have trouble finding it, go to YouTube. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Chainbreakers 365, where you can find us there. Or you can go to chainbreakers365.com, where our entire library of videos is there as well. I want to thank you so much for being here. Folks, I absolutely love you. You are wonderful. You fulfill the purpose in my life, and I hope that I am as much of a blessing to you as you are to me. Thanks so much for being here today, and I look forward to seeing you this time tomorrow for Chainbreakers 365 Live. Thanks so much, and we'll see you again. Bye now.